So we're looking at Tilly, owning your own fertility journey. It is a platform that helps women and men take control of their fertility, backed by leading investors. And we're going to have a look at the deck very shortly. Stick with me, guys. You know, it's really interesting. They're growing 50% a year. That's amazing. And I've already looked at the video. You can check that out in my other YouTube video. But let's have a quick look at it. They're using AI. They're backed by good investors. They're growing at 50%. They've got high user rating of 4.6 out of 5. They're in over 100 companies, getting good press. There's some interesting information here. For example, they're looking at a B2C model with freemium subscriptions. Make this a bit bigger. You see this? There we go. And they're charging already from $7.50 a month to $47 a year for their software as a service subscription model, and courses from $79 to $200. They're going to target B2B fertility clinics first, which I think it makes sense, actually. And look at this. It costs a lot of money, IVF. Average people need 3 rounds, and that's $14,000 is the average cost of a round. So what's that? It's nearly 50K, something like that, $43,000. And on average, patients are spending $140 a month on additional services, such as supplements and fertility yoga. It's like a big market. You know, it's really important. I want to be sensitive in this video as well. It is about investing, but you know, these are people's goals and about their families as well. So anyway, without further ado, I'm going to look at their document. You have to be a member to invest with Seedrs, by the way. There's 16 days left at the time of recording. It's really easy to sign up. There's a sign up link in the description where if you sign up using my link, then you get free investment cash. I've already downloaded this, actually. Here we go. Let's look at this in present mode. On a mission to decrease time to pregnancy and infertility stress. Look quite cool from that little thing. And that sounds like a very good mission statement. Whoopsie. All right. Massive concern for couples. Am I fertile? For how long? Can I get tested? Should I freeze my eggs? Trying to conceive? Do I ovulate? Can lifestyle affect my chances? You know, all these questions that people are asking themselves. And then what treatment's right for me? Should I tell people, etc., etc. The gap between patient needs and support creates inefficient care and stress. So there's fragmented services, unavailable information, and lack of support. Tilly bridges the gap with reliable educational resources, integrated peer support like a community, and evidence-based scientific coping tools. Sounds very good. It's AI-driven, awesome, personalized as well. Looks very good for the screenshots here. You got like a chatbot type system here with questions, checklists, treatment schedules, what to expect, journaling and meditations and courses and kind of peer community and stuff. It looks very good. Following people throughout the journey will give us a unique data set that enables improved insights and research around the potential of proactive care and personalization of treatments, and around what it actually decreases infertility stress. I think that's really important. It's coming from a chief medical advisor. I guess their chief medical advisor at Tilly. It sounds very, very good. And I like the idea of a platform. Like basically it is the hub for you to get pregnant, or for, you know, your couple, etc., to hit your goals of pregnancy. And it's a kind of one-stop shop. So I do like that. So look at this. Fertility is not niche. It's, you know, it's growing. It used to be kind of, I think it was less than 1% of people struggled with infertility, like in the 1950s, 60s. Like the stats are crazy, and now it's 1 in 6. And what's that, like 16% of people struggle? That's crazy. 600 million people, 200 million trying to conceive, nearly 50 million getting treatment, and it's growing 10% a year. That's like, it's quite a sad statistic, to be honest. But anyway, yeah, this app is looking to help people, this platform. So a range of business models. They've got freemium, B2C model, reminders, etc. Limited access to insights and library, etc. Subscription, $13 to $21 a month. Full access to library and resources. And then End-to-end platform is referrals for B2B clinics. That makes sense. And licensing, pay-per-use, fertility clinics, and employee benefits. So that's kind of cool. You know, if they partnered with big companies, Meta, the company I work for, could be a good company for them to partner with potentially. I've done some of this before, you know, my marketing experience. You know, I do marketing now for WhatsApp, as anyone will know if they watch my videos. I mention it in every video, more or less. Previously, I was doing some marketing for a med tech company targeting dentists and doctors. And this B2B model is a good one. The problem is, you know, it's quite niche. There's not that many. I don't know if there'd be that many fertility clinics in each country. I suppose there'd be more nutritionists and more psychologists. So maybe as a group, they could be quite a good set, you know, market. And, you know, the more of these kind of B2B referral kind of organizations they can get as a list, the bigger the market and the easier it's going to be to do B2B. What I like is they've got a range of models. And then they've got courses, testing supplements, and Tilly branded treatment packages. Solutions are fragmented at the moment. So this is the problem. You know, there's a lot of kind of misinformation and information online. There's different apps for cycle tracking, fertility tracking, IVF, mental wellness, stuff like that. They're growing at 50% a month, 4,000 users in 100 countries, 50% monthly growth on average, 1,200 monthly active users, 500 paying users. This is good. You know, this is about, I don't know what that is, 15% of the users are paying already. That's fantastic. 50% growth. So what is that? 2,000 a month they're growing at? That's pretty good. And if you compound that 50% a month, it probably won't stay at 50% a month. If it did, then everyone in the world would be using this app in not many years. But still, 50% at this rate, having 4,000 users is fantastic. I don't know what that would be after 12 months. If they keep that up for at least 12 months, it'd probably be, I don't know, 100,000 or something crazy, 50,000. But anyway, it's very good rates at the moment. So where are they at the moment? They've launched on both the App Store and Android. Oh, whoa, my computer's going crazy. This is their prognosis of users and revenues. Number of users, they want to get to 400,000. So they're looking at about 130,000 users by the end of next year. I'm filming this, by the way, in September of 2022. That's ambitious, but I don't think that's unrealistic, especially given the fact that like users will probably spend $50,000 on their fertility journey. You know, they're eager and they're so motivated to find out what can help them. 2024, they're looking at nearly 400,000 users, and revenues doesn't show you how much revenues they're making at the moment. But if they've got 500 users and they're all paying users, and they're paying about 80 euros a year? I don't know what it was. 100 euros a year? I'm not sure. They're making some revenue. But look at this, revenues go up. These are million, I think that is Swedish krona. So I always say this for startups, like it would make a lot more sense if they have it in, I mean, they've got the numbers here in US dollars. Why haven't they got it in US dollars here or pounds? You know, this raise is on Seedrs. They should probably have it in pounds or at least US dollars. Anyway, 2024 in numbers, they want 400,000, they want 70,000, they want 20,000 subscribers, which is 5%. 120,000 add-ons, $9 million US in revenue. So they got it there. Actually, that's good. About 10%, I guess, the krona to the dollar, 9% even. So 9 million in revenue is what they're projecting. That's ambitious. That is ambitious. Do I think they can do it? Probably. Don't think they'll do it in that time frame, to be honest. I think it might be 5 years or 4 years from there. We'll see what else they say. I can really tell the app was created by someone who understands the challenge. It's already saving me a lot of Googling. There's so much vague information out there. So the kind of evidence-based info that you get is on offer is really needed. I like that you treat readers as intelligent people and trust us to draw conclusions based on our own situation. Thank you for doing everything you do. And lastly, I don't know what that means, OBGYN. Anyway, Jessica says, I completely agree that current care fails to address the psychological aspect of infertility. And I find you're very pedagogic. Don't know what that means. Is that like pedagogical? Is that like teaching, learning? Not sure. I recommend it to my patients. So that guy is maybe a doctor, possibly fertility treatment, psychologist, not sure. Anyway, they're getting good reviews. Don't know why my computer's being really weird here. So they're getting press, which is good. Maybe that's how they're getting their growth rates. Passionate core teams. We've got Jenny Ann, Axe, founder, CEO. 10 years experience from management roles in EdTech, developing products. 5 miscarriages and 3 sons. Lindstrom, CTO, full stack engineer with 10 years of coding experience, specializing in data-driven solutions. He's getting prepared. So I like the way they've got this actually, that they're talking about they're being very open and transparent about where they are in the cycle of their kind of family cycle, like where they're at. Anna is a founder and looks like co-founder, 10 years of marketing and business development experience, management consulting at startups, former IVF patient, 4 miscarriages and 1 son. Dr. Evangelia, Elenis. Sorry if I'm pronouncing people's names wrong here, guys. I'm not Swedish. Anyway, looks like, I think that means doctor, not sure. PhD, reproductive medicine research affiliate, Uppsala University. And she's worked at Harvard Medical School as well. Former IVF patient and 1 son. So it looks like they've got a good team here, mixing fertility, nutrition, and psychology, as well as the business needs for the company as well. So that's good. Backed by leading early stage investors, Antler. Heard of Antler, I don't know why. And some of these other companies, I haven't heard of these, but feel free, if anyone's watching this, to let me know if you have heard of them. Revilo, Ample, Scribe, Blue Heart. Propel Capital, Sweden's most active seed investor. Their other investments have included Karma, that's massive. It must be the biggest Swedish company. Volumental, don't know that one. Video Plaza, I'm not sure about that. Emmy, I haven't heard of these. They're probably big in Sweden. If you are Swedish and you're watching this, let me know what these companies are and if they're good. I guess they are. And they've got fertility friends and angel investors and trusted advisors. So it looks like there's some people from the investment world and potentially the fertility world that are on board with them. That's really cool. It's like a helpful community. It looks like they've got investors from Spotify as well. Let's move on to the next slides. Why crowdfunding? We think fertility is important and something that concerns everybody. So it kind of makes sense. They're looking to probably drive income as well as making a change for coming generations, and a crowd of invested families and friends. I want to read this actually. The feedback and support from our community has been incredible since we launched last year, and we're happy that so many see a need for what Tilly is doing, although we wish we weren't needed in a way. We felt that some of you wanted to be a bigger part of the journey we're on and wanted to offer all of our friends a chance to join. Fertility concerns us all. There's surely no better way to make a change for coming generations than a crowd of invested families and friends. So I think this is really great that this kind of company is doing a crowdfund. Number 1, it grows the user base. Number 2, it incentivizes and grows the people that are already quote unquote invested in the company, i.e. they're part of the community. Number 3, it's great for PR. And it helps generate all sorts of goodness, like maybe it can help them with recruitment, it can help them with press, it can help them grow their user base, etc. They're going to take it to the next level with product and technology, refinement and matching algorithms, personalization, evidence-based courses, and improved user experience. All of these shouldn't be that challenging or expensive to do. Matching algorithms are, they have to hire probably a data engineer, software engineer, probably someone that maybe potentially 2 people. That's probably quite expensive on a run rate, operation expenditure, run rate kind of stuff. Courses is one-off CapEx type investments. User experience, they might need somebody, one person potentially, or an agency to help with that. Or if the marketing person understands UX, it looks like they've got pretty good design and UX so far. But that's a lot of data anyway. UX, like a data marketer would be able to look at that and look at kind of UX testing. Might be either a data marketer and a design person or a UX person. Lots of ways to cut the cake there. Growth and partnerships, recruitment, expand marketing team. If you guys want any help with marketing, I might be able to help potentially. I specialize in acquisition channels, by the way, and I do it for some of the biggest companies in the world, as well as startups. Anyway, they're going to expand in the UK. They're going to finalize further clinic collaborations to generate leads. Again, I've done that for medical technology companies. I work with Doctify. So I know how that works. And I think we increased their number of leads 10x in 1 year off the back of my strategy and some of my implementations. Anyway, establish further partnerships with non-profit organizations and ambassadors to establish Tilly as the thought leader and generate PR and generate brand exposure. That makes complete sense. All of this makes sense, to be honest. Generating return. These are the options, I guess. You can sell your shares through the secondary market on Seedrs. If you want to sign up, I've got a sign up link in the description where you get £25 for free to join using my link. Also, it benefits and support this channel. At the moment, I make a donut, i.e. a bagel, i.e. £0 or dollars or Swedish krona for making these videos. I just enjoy making them. But if you do want to support the channel, one way you can do it, help yourself, is to sign up to Seedrs. And of course, with Seedrs, unlike other platforms, you can actually sell your shares through the secondary market. The other ways to generate a return is they could look at a private sale to a big company, or a trade sale, maybe someone in the fertility space or the medtech space, or an IPO. Investor perks, £100, you get 50% off 6 months subscription. That's cool. £500 free subscription. That's worth, I guess, £75, I guess. 5,000 is you get 4 codes, free 12-month subscriptions, and it's valid for 12 months. And you get one-to-one meeting with the Tilly founders, and 10K gets you 4 codes and beta product testing and one-to-one. I like this company. I am looking to scale down my investing at the moment. I've got other kind of optionality at the moment. If you want to check out what I'm doing, then I've got some videos on what my plans are for the next kind of 12 months. I might still consider investing in this. I do think it's a really interesting company. One-to-one shot, blah, 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 blah. I'm gonna start sharing and talk about my overall opinion. Well, the market is big and it's growing, and obviously it's a very important cause. So not even just from a non-financial perspective, it's interesting to like back a company like this because it's obviously helping people. I think it would be, for the founders, if anyone is watching this, they're probably not, but if they are, and the team, it would be good to kind of like have statistics about how many people have actually helped to get pregnant. I suppose there's lots of factors involved in getting pregnant. And maybe it's too difficult to track the kind of attribution of this app, or the methodology of people using this app and how that has influenced their ability to get pregnant. But I think that would be quite powerful, potentially. I think their user goals are quite ambitious. I don't think that they can't do it, if that makes sense. I don't think they can't do it, double negative. But sometimes in this scenario, when a company is at the very, very early stages, it's really, really quite difficult to forecast, how fast they can grow. So they're at 5,000 users at the moment, and I think they say they wanted to get to 400,000. Or 1 second, I'm going to scroll back in the deck. They want to get to 400,000, so they want to kind of more or less like 80x the amount of users they've got. For 2023, if they can get to like 100,000 users, then 400,000 looks doable. But the biggest jump is going to be from like 5,000 to 100,000. They need to 20x the amount of subscribers they get. Sorry, the amount of users they get. What's interesting, I think they've been quite bullish on the app, the users on the app kind of growth. But on the paying subscribers, they've already got, what did they say they've got? Shit, I can't remember. Whoops. 500. They've got 500. So they're only going to, oh yeah, they're going to like 20x that as well. Is it 20x? No, 40x. Yes, it's all quite ambitious. But you know, the interesting thing about this market is like people are hyper motivated to learn and to find out as much as they can. And they're spending, you know, the average person is probably spending 50,000 on this, you know, on the ability to try to get pregnant, and they're trying everything, you know, and I'm sure it's a hellish journey, and hopefully, you know, hopefully I won't have to go through that, but I may. Anyway, this platform looks like it's helping. I think it's very interesting. I think it could do very, very well. If they were to get to 20,000 paying subscribers, let's just have a quick look. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to do this kind of live here. Let's have a look. Right. So, I want to get to 20,000 subscribers in 2024. So, actually, I'm going to stop sharing. I am going to do a quick forecast. I'll just get my numbers. Stick with me, guys, because I think this is going to be probably quite valuable. We could see their projections, etc. All right. Here we go. Stick with me. There's a lot of value towards the whole bit of the video. Where are we? Just hold on 1 second. Okay. Computer's being awesome. Right. So I want to get to, let's say in 2024, users. I think they said 400,000, right? They said paying users, 20,000. And they said monthly. Now, any problem is I don't remember what currency they said that it was going to be in. Annual revenues, we'll just go that 12, and then annual times users. This is kind of revenue, if you like. It's like 90 times 200,000. Let's just format this by, let's do euros for now. No, let's do pound. I think they did it in pounds. So it's nearly a 1.8 million. Now let's just do a quick like forecast of this. I think it's really important to, that doesn't include their like courses revenue as well. So let's assume that like out of this 400,000 user base, let's say 1,000 pay for these courses, and I think they're like 180. So that's 180,000, right? 180,000. So revenue, that plus that's nearly 2 million. It's nearly 2 million. Let's just do like users growing and like, it's obviously not going to grow at 50% a year from there. Let's say 25% a year. And let's say everything else grows at 25% a year as well. Just do that quickly. It's interesting. This wouldn't grow at 25% a year, I don't think. They'll probably keep this flat. So the revenue is like not that good. It's interesting. This is really interesting when you do these kind of forecasts, because it kind of only works if the company kind of blows up. So let's do like a really bullish scenario here. And let's say that, like, you know, if you imagine some fintechs grow like wildfire, let's say they do some raises and they start really ramping up, and they get like a large percentage of the population of a lot of countries. So in the UK, let's say there's a million users, and then it expands like Germany and other places in Europe, and they get to 3 million. I'm being like super bullish here, folks. I think it's important to be bullish. Then they get to 6 million. If you think about it, there's not that many people doing this. And the paying users would be, let's just times this by what, 5%. Oopsies. Wow, it can't be 5% because that's nothing. There we go. There we go. Right, now we're getting into it. So if they do hit it big time and they get to 1 million users, it might not happen in 2025, it might be later on, but this is the bullish case, right? Suddenly they get to quite high revenues. And if we just project profit, they're basically a software as a service company, essentially. And those margins can be quite high. So I'm gonna say, like, at the start, they're not gonna have high margins because they're reinvesting, whatever. So let's just say like 10% margins. But then as we go on, we can say that it becomes higher and higher because software as a service is like incredibly high. So 40% in 2025, and then we go up to 60% in 2026. And then we go up to more normal software as a service profit margins, about 80%. So they might hit, if they hit kind of millions of users, they could hit, approximately between 1 million and kind of 13, 14, 15 million in profit a year. If we think of valuation, let's just do 20x, because I don't want to go into crazy valuations. Let's do 20x. Okay, so the bull case, we should actually do the bear case here as well. So the bear case would be the profit on the much lower numbers. And what we'll do is we'll do the same. I think I'll put 20% for that, then to do 40, and then 80. So even like the not so bullish case, I mean, I suppose this is their case, which is fairly bullish. Probably need to do like a very conservative forecast here. But the point is that, when you're investing in these kind of companies, you want them to do well, and you expect them to do well. So I'm going to stick with this. I'm not going to do a conservative forecast because they're either going to do well or they're not, right? So let's just assume that they get to kind of 400,000 users in 2024, but then they grow kind of moderately. So 25% increase in the next year, 25%. The profit for this could be fairly low, but by the time they get to 2027, it could be quite good, and that's working out quite well. So yeah, so the valuation could be 40 million in the kind of in their case, if they get to 700,000 users. What's the probability of them doing that? I don't know. I do think that they're not in a crowded space. If you think of, like, I invest in a lot of fintechs and it's super crowded, the space. So I don't think it's a crowded space. I do think they could get to this. So I'd say it's probably maybe 1 in 5, 1 in 4 chance of them doing this. So that's the 40 million. And then getting to 6 million, I probably think it's maybe 1 in 8 chance. And that's when they're valued at 273 million. Let's have a look at their valuation at the moment. So I don't actually remember what they're valued at. So they're valued at 3 million euros. I've kind of done this in pounds. So in this case, it would go up about 13x, right? And for this, it would go up nearly 100x. So what is that? 90x, maybe 90x, 80x. So this is where, excuse me, sorry. I've been so busy recently. I've been doing some property renovation work, and I'm getting hands-on as well, which just for learnings, but it's tired me out a bit. Anyway, you know, a lot of this investing in angel investments is kind of asymmetric, and what I mean by that is they kind of either do nothing or grow very, very slowly, or they grow like wildfire and they can do something like this. So they're either going to maybe go bust or not grow so well. And, you know, maybe in 5 years you sell, you know, you can sell your shares for like an increase of 10, 20, 30%, or they do something like this and they go up 10x, 15x or 50x, 100x. And the problem is that if you think about it, and if you've stayed this long in the video, then kudos to you. You know, at the moment they're kind of like, they're so much smaller. You know, I mean, they've got, what did they say, 5,000 users, was it 500 paying users? So there's such a big jump here, such a big jump from here to here. But what's interesting about investing is from here to here, you get the biggest, you kind of get the biggest jump. Okay, they're valued at 3 million at the moment, which, to be honest, like, let's just do the maths. I think that is a massive overvaluation, but this is normally the case, isn't it? It's normally the case for, oh, I've done a bit of a bad thing here. That's not right. Yeah, that should be like, should be this actually. Sorry, folks. Again, if you've stuck it out here, then kudos to you. Yeah, that's not correct. That's not correct. So I need to look at those numbers. Actually, it's probably 10% lower than now, 15% lower. Anywho, I'm doing this live, as you can see, so there might be some mistakes, but I think the general trend is important to recognize, not the precise figures. And for them to get to this, you know, let's just assume that that this is what they're making. You know, I don't think they're profitable at this point. And let's assume they get to their 100,000 users, and let's assume they get to 10,000 paying users. I think that's a fair assumption. And this is equal to 10,000, which is good. Doing this on the fly here, guys, apologies. And we also said there'd be, you know, about 10% paying for the fees of the courses. So I think it's going to be about 1 million, a bit more than 1 million. It's like super. This is like really hard to analyze. You know, so take all of this with a pinch of salt. I'm not a financial advisor. So you can see there's like a massive jump here. Like this is going to be like so low. Like obviously total revenue, you know, it's probably like that plus maybe what, like 5,000 in courses maybe. Whoops, did that wrong. Sorry, C7. Apologies, stick with me, guys. Right, so you can see it's like you can kind of write off 2020 this year, 2022. That's not important. The most important thing is, can they hit these 2 years? If they can hit 100,000 users, then I'd have a lot of confidence they could get to 400,000. But it is really hard to cross this chasm. I'll give you 3 examples of me investing in 3 different companies. The first was a company which I think I invested when they had like 150,000 users, something like that, in the fintech space. They've now got 800,000 users and they're doing really well. That's Moneybox. And, you know, those shares have like, I think they've more than doubled for me, which is amazing, in like 2 years. And if you can imagine, like, that's where I'm kind of investing between these stages. It's a lot safer, but you don't get a massive uplift in, you know, they're already valued, I think, at 300 million. So they're already valued at like this rate, even though they don't have 600 million users. Like fintech's crazy. The valuations are like mad in fintech. Anyway, another company I invested in, which is called How About. has grown from like 5,000 users to like, I think they're at 100,000 users now. And they're growing, they did that in 1 year. So they did do this, they did do it. And I invested in them recently and I made a video about them. So check those videos, check it out. But then I did invest in another company called Chivado, which is like restaurant tech. It's like software as a service selling to restaurants. And they had like a similar small number of users. I think it might have been 5,000 or 10,000. And they had similar goals to get to this. And they just didn't get there at all. They've like doubled in like 2 years or something. So they've gone from like, I don't know this precise numbers. I did a video about it, but it was so depressing. I haven't published it. But, this is the point I'm making is it's really hard to get from here to here. And like, once you get to here, whether you're looking at this scenario at the top and getting from 400,000 to kind of 800,000 or 400,000 to millions is kind of a lot easier. You've got, if you think about it, when you've got 400,000 users and you do a referral campaign, you can probably get to 600,000 just from a really good referral campaign, or PR. You do an amazing PR campaign, you've got 400,000, that can have massive ripple effects. You've also got the budget, you've got revenue, you've got millions of revenue coming in, and you do a good paid media campaign, you can easily get to millions of users. But, when you're at 5,000 users and your revenue's like 50,000, you can't use paid media. And I know that's what I do for a living. That's what I do for WhatsApp. That's what I do for Meta. Paid media is the real growth driver. That's really what's going to amplify all this. I think they can get to maybe like, I don't know, 20, 30,000 users from referrals and PR. They can smash that, they can beat that horse, the PR horse, as much as they want. But it's paid media, I think, that's going to grow them the fastest. So I think they're going to get to this level, 1 million users, if they can show this, if they can get to kind of probably here, they can maybe raise off the back of having 100,000 users. And then they can drive that paid acquisition. They're looking to raise 285,000. So they're definitely going to need to raise again next year. So I think this is the critical year for Tilly. Because if they raise 250, let's say they make 300,000 revenue, they've got to pay their team. They may be able to spend, I don't know, I would hope 20,000 on paid media, and maybe they can get to close to these numbers. Even if they can hit 50,000 users, I think that would show enough for investors to want to invest in a bigger round, and they might raise like 1 million here if they can hit this target, or even get to 50,000 users. And then once they've raised 1 million, they can actually spend on paid media. And because they've got such a motivated user base that are spending so much money on fertility and other treatments already, I think they can onboard a lot of people. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So sometimes people ask like where I'm doing, am I investing? As I mentioned, I've got another path. I'm investing short term in some other channels. Check out my, I'm going to be publishing some videos on what I'm looking to invest in. Will I invest in Tilly? I might invest a small amount. I do think there's risk. I think they need to cross the chasm from 5,000 users to at least kind of 50,000, and they need to get that soon. And that is the hardest thing. Everything else will be a lot simpler: raising money, spending on advertising, onboarding people, referral campaigns, etc., etc. I may put in a small amount to follow this company. I do recognize that you get the most return from investing early on. So I can't advise you, but the logic is when you invest early, you can do very, very well. If they can get to millions of users, that's the big if. But if they can, they could be valued at 300 million. They could be valued at $1 billion. And that's where you're getting your 300x return. But they could equally go bust as well. I'll leave your final opinion with you. And if you want to share your opinion, let us know in the comment section below. Do you think they can cross the chasm? Do you think Tilly can get to 50,000 users, 100,000 users, 200,000 users? If you've got ideas on how they can do that, let us know. I personally think it's going to be a blend between PR, referral campaigns, and paid media, like paid advertising campaigns. But let me know what you think. Are you a current investor, or are you looking to invest? Let us know in the comment section below. If you want to support the channel, if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. And if you want to get some free investment cash to invest in companies like Tilly on the platform Seedrs, check out the link in the description where you can sign up to Seedrs and get some free investment cash. If you know anybody that is struggling with the cost of living crisis or inflation, they don't know what to do with their money, they're worried about the stock market, consider telling them about this channel and about angel investing. You don't get the panic of when stocks go up and down. And it can be quite exciting to invest in companies that are honestly changing the world. Tilly could literally change the world of fertility treatment and knowledge. Guys, I hope you enjoy these videos. I love making them. As I mentioned, I make zero, a donut, a bagel, zero money from making these videos. But if you do want to support the channel, there will be some links in the description, the Seedrs link, and maybe some other links where you can join my community of other like-minded investors. Check those guys, check all those links out. Sorry, I'm exhausted from property investing and development. But anyway, remember that the progress, knowledge is power, especially the right kind of knowledge, and progress is everything. There'll be some other videos to check out. Make sure to check those out. I'll see you guys in the next upcoming video. Take care. Cheers.